Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here and welcome back to another episode of Shabby Talk. Now this one is going to be a little bit different, this one is just my idea for how I would book Kassius Ohno on the main roster. His main roster debut basically. Now I've got two separate plans for this one. The first one is a little bit more basic, the second one is a bit more in-depth I suppose. The first one would be for maybe Gallows and Anderson to go at Ambrose and Rollins for the Tag Team Championships. Now during this feud, we do see a Finn Balor heel turn and Finn Balor return to the club, which gives it a bit of a 3-on-2 situation. Now, if you know the history of the Shield, you'll know that originally it was planned for the Shield to be Ambrose, Rollins and Kassius Ohno. However, that was changed and Roman Reigns was given Ohno's place, which is annoying because imagine how good the Shield would have been if Kassius Ohno was in there as well. That would have been awesome, but we got what we got, and Roman Reigns has now done pretty well out of it as well. So, potentially, you got the 3-on-2 situation. Maybe Ambrose and Rollins need a tag team partner to try and negate the effect of Finn Balor in that feud. And out comes Kassius Ohno. That could be the simplest way of doing it. Kassius then joins the Shield 2.0. They can have their little run and then eventually break up like they always do. And they can all go off and have their singles run. That would be a really good way to give Kassius a push on the main roster as well. Give him an opportunity to show what he can do with a couple of big names around him. He'll probably go straight into the main event picture in that situation as well, which would be pretty damn cool. Now, that was a short one. My second idea is a bit more of an interesting one, and it revolves around Sheamus and Cesaro. Now, imagine if Sheamus and Cesaro had won the Tag Team Championships back. And then over time, they start to get a bit arsey with each other. They let the championships go to their head a little bit. They both believe that they are the key to success. They both believe that the other partner is holding them down, so forth. And Kurt Angle then eventually tells them that they're going to have to get on the same page. Now, over time, they just can't do this, and they decide they can no longer work together as a tag team, even though they are the tag team champions. Angle then says, right, the next pay-per-view, what we're going to do is we're going to have both of you go off and find yourself a tag team partner, and then the two teams will then fight out to become the undisputed tag team champions. Of course, when that match would happen, both teams will come into the match with one tag team championship belt each. Now, Sheamus could bring in anyone, really. It doesn't really matter for the story who he brings in. Maybe someone a bit out of the box, maybe a little bit of a surprise, like maybe bringing back Wade Barrett would be pretty cool or something like that, but that doesn't really matter. But, of course, Cesaro then would bring in Kassius Ohno. Now, if you don't know, Kassius Ohno and Cesaro used to be a tag team on the indie scene before they both joined WWE, called the Kings of Wrestling. And I think that would be a really awesome way to bring Kassius Ohno onto the main roster and give him the chance to work with Cesaro for a bit of time to really get himself across to the main roster before, of course, he goes off into singles action and shows what he can do there. I think that'd be a really cool idea. I don't know what you guys think, but I really like that idea. I think Cesaro and Ohno working together would get a major pop from the crowd. Of course, people that know about the Kings of Wrestling, really. A lot of people who watches NXT would be pretty happy to see Kassius Ohno join the main roster as well, so I think it would get a pretty big reaction. So I know it's only a short one, but that is my idea for how I would book the debut of Kassius Ohno on the WWE main roster. What do you guys think? Which one do you think would be the best idea? The Kings of Wrestling idea or the Shield idea? Or do you think it'd be better suited in a different way? Let me know down in the comment section below. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon for some more Shabby Talk. Bye.